Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
The Giants kicker ready to go, and here we go from MetLife Stadium. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's the offense, and when you talk about this offense, you certainly have to talk about all-day AP, Adrian Peterson.
Does not shy away from contact. Also has the speed to go the distance. It's the rare combination that you get from one of the great runners of all time in the NFL. 2,000 yards every year is the goal. I never bet against him.
A first carry now for Thompson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
They run again on first down. Peterson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Haskins. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Now Haskins on 1st down. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That definitely sets up a much more difficult 3rd down.
Yeah, you figure 2nd and 2, one they thought they could pick up. Now you're facing 3rd and 4.
Yeah, got to give the front 7 a lot of credit for making that play. I'm just starting to wonder, partner, is 2nd and short also a throwing down in the NFL now?
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. So a great play there. Obviously, because of the loss, we had your free safety coming up to make the tackle.
Great observation, because one of the cliches is that every defensive coach tells us in run defense we need all 11 to the ball in order to handle it. Well, how often does the free safety begin dropping into the box? Not very often. So he did a nice job diagnosing and getting involved.
So now on 4th down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A quick throw. Here's Shepard. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
Here we go. 15, line it. 15 line. I'm coming after you. Go.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards and a giant first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Here's Jones operating from the gun. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. It's Barkley on the counter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It was Jonathan Bostic there on the stop. And now a look at the Washington defense.
Landon Collins is built like your typical tackle-first safety, but he does have the ability to play the deep part of the field.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB. Ready.
Now Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 14. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Come on, set. 60 or.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't see.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Giants have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Let's go. Get ring. Right there in the middle. 55. Quit talking about it and bring it.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And now it's 2nd down. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Leonard Williams was one of the top draft picks coming out of USC, and he's done nothing to diminish the comparisons people make of past greats.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Third down, here's Haskins. And that is incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Throwing Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
A 1-yard gain brings up 3rd and 6.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. Back to throw. Jones. And Ingram hauls it in. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. On the draw, this is Barkley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 33-yard line.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
Check tight.
5.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Taken in at the 22. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They give him a gain of 37.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into 1st down and then some. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. A toss play. This is Peterson. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
Ready? Hey, come on. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Here we go. Check, check. Flag down. Flag down.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run the counter. Barkley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Go! 10 logo. You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now. Get ready?
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 48-yard line.
Set, ready? 30 base.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Ready, set. 53, check 53. In your face.
Jones throwing on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Jones. Catch made by Slayton. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard there to make the grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catchers, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this, after that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Roses to add the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe somebody to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. Set up.
2nd down, Haskins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give to Peterson out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Haskins. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. A run by Barkley going to go backwards as he's going to lose right around 3 yards here. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now Jones operating from the gun. And an alley to run. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 7.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants 1st down. Jones now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones to Shepard, complete over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Saquon Barkley. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Set. 60 outlaw.
Check back, check back.
Big rip, big rip.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Jones pass. Intended for Saquon
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 39-yard attempt.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Brings up second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Now Haskins to throw on second down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin.
The second down pass. Complete to Terry McLaurin. A gain of 9. Brings up third down.
The Redskins on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. This to McLaurin out on the left side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked down inside the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll make it third down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Holding offense.
That's on Kevin Zeitler, acquired in the Odell Beckham trade. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 22. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arm saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 17 yards and a giant first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jones going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14. Jones now operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
Let's go, let's go.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
First down, Redskins.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. They will find Davis. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Washington.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Haskins on first down. It's caught by Davis. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing again, here's Haskins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Haskins. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Haskins and the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins, and an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, it's Haskins. And finding Davis here, the tight end. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Haskins back to the air. dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make it 17-13. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Jones. He completes it to Tate. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jones now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On the run, it's Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been effective, and they're winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent, and, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Giant, Landon Collins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. We're holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half. Those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 26. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, here's something we haven't seen much of in this game, a really nice run. Do they decide to come back with it, or was that just a little flash, and maybe they continue to try and throw the ball?
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Haskins looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and it's 3rd and short.
Not only did they drop, it looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Haskins on 3rd down, and he finds McLaurin. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Haskins now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Haskins. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. He's got it complete to Thompson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, A lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
The tackle made by Monte Nicholson. It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Barkley. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now it's Haskins. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
First down, Redskins.
Set, ready. Go to base. It's a party now. It's a party now.
On 1st down, Haskins throwing middle, but it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To Thompson on the draw. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Giants' 6-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Haskins will throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. They'll turn to Thompson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Redskins are going to retake the lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Finds his tight end Ingram, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for New York. And he uncorks a beauty, best of the day. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here come the Redskins now. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Set, cut. Touchdown. Yeah. Strong right, strong right, strong right. Hey.
From the gun on 3rd down, Haskins, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But they're certainly being aggressive here. It's like being a sprinter in a 100-meter dash, exploding out of the blocks, trying to push the ball downfield. Guaranteed this defense better be on their toes. They're going to be tested all game.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for Washington. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now out come the Giants. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Jones now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
It certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Jones throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. That'll bring up second down.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
The drive starts with a completion, left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. 2nd down, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
It's a gain of 9. Makes it 3rd and inches.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now a run with Peterson. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Jones now on 1st and 10. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. Got a man, Slayton. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Jones operating from the gun. That's complete to Slayton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
All right, here we go. Let's go, D, let's go.
Now Jones. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He's got the first down inside the 10, and finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with second and goal coming up.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On the run, it's Penny, and he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants are once again going to retake the lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it into play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From midfield now, Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 49-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Really helps a run defense when your D tackle swallows them up like that.
Yeah, one of the perceived weaknesses of a 3-4 defense is you got the nose and the 2 defensive ends. And over there, you've got the guards that are uncovered by any body. So you've got natural bubble to run the football. But as you noted, if you've got that space eater inside, it'll eat up double teams, maybe even a 3rd guy. That really helps out your run defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. That's one of those interceptions watching from up here that quarterback wide receiver just looked a little out of sync.
They did look a little out of sync, and yeah, they're going to examine that when they get to the sidelines, and they'll talk about it throughout next week when they watch the tape. But the guy who's going to be there for him, really in his ear, is his center. Because that's a special relationship for a rookie quarterback. Your center handles your line calls. He gets everyone in the proper position to block. He'll be the first guy back to pick you up after you've been knocked down. And that's the guy you watch the extra film with and try and learn the league.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. This is Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
15 line. 15 line. Slam. Deep grip.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Here we go, set. 60 or. I don't think you got it, son. Hit it.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 19.
Ready. 8 read.
Check back.
A first down carry for Barkley. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see you.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. 2nd and 6. He completes it to Tate. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And Ingram holds it in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the 4th quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
Rosas good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors yet still play perfect football.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Redskins first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On the carry, Thompson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Haskins on first down. He's got it complete to Thompson. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
To Chris Thompson. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 45-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, it's Thompson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 27-yard line. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here we go with Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Haskins gets him up to the line as quick as he can. Now it's Haskins. He's got Thompson here, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Haskins to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
They're going on 4th down. Haskins. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dalvin Tomlinson. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Not today, Rob. Not today.
Get it.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with it. And counting the defense here, the Redskins have 6 defensive backs out there. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.